Okay,
Right.
well, let's turn now to a new film, very interesting subject matter. It's called WONDERKID. Let's hear a little bit of the trailer. Oh, maybe not. Yes, we can. Okay.
Okay.
What's wrong with me, lad?
No, mate. You're just different.
The transfer they said wouldn't be completed, couldn't be completed, is done.
It's like he's working with that side.
Look at the talent. He's got that, of course. But football is about much more than that.
Put a shift in.
So what's something you going to do for us then? Gargle? Paparazzi?
Girls on film.
What were you doing in there? I thought you wanted to be a footballer.
I am a footballer. One day, all that'll matter is I'm the best this country's ever seen.
So there we are. Say the film is called WONDERKID, and it does tackle probably the last great taboo at top level football. The idea of a player being openly gay, a top player being openly gay. I think the co-writer and certainly the director of the film, Rhys Chapman, is with us. Good afternoon, Rhys.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No, pleasure. It is a fascinating subject, and it's one we've looked at with Robbie Rogers, who came out after his career was over, told us when he came in to discuss his book that he wouldn't dreamed when he was playing football in this country to have done that. And we said, why? He said, well, it just would have been a nightmare. The culture isn't there. The players in the dressing room weren't ready to deal with it, my fellow pros, and it would have been awful.
Yeah, and Thomas Hitzlsperger said much the same, didn't he? I think Robbie had a positive reaction from his Leeds teammates after that.
Yes.
Didn't he? And him going on to play in America is a big deal and it's fantastic. But it's very different over there, isn't it?
It is, but in general, though, I mean, most right-minded people do have a positive reaction to this.
Yeah.
So the idea.
We've seen it in other sports, certainly. We've seen players come out in other sports without any adverse reaction at all. It's something about football. I mean, this is what you're tackling in the film.
Yeah, well, the working class history of football is very tribal, and the mentality of the support is very much, exploit any weaknesses in the opposition and stuff like that. And there is this kind of culture where homophobia still exists, and I think it's mainly down to people not quite understanding what it is.
But do you not think there's a difference between exploiting weaknesses, and so you aim barbs, and all fans do this, but true homophobia or true anti-Semitism? I always think there's a big difference between what you hear in a football match. I'm not talking about in Eastern Europe where it's fairly disgusting, but generally over here.
Yeah, I think so, and I think if there were gay players on the pitch, it would just quickly disappear because there'd be a human element to bring to these insults. And there are a lot of LGBT fan groups for most of the clubs now, which I think are playing a really important role in ruling out that kind of behaviour on match day and offering an opportunity for gay fans to come. But
I mean, a lot of the gay fans group have banners that you see at the stadium. They were, and that's certainly true of my club as well. And they don't get. As far as I know, I don't think they get particularly adverse reaction.
The home fans, your own fans. Surely, all they care about, all I care about is he any good on the pitch? I don't care what he does off the pitch. In general.
Exactly.
So your film, does it tell the story of someone who's openly gay or someone?
No, it's so WONDERKID, the character, he knows he's gay and he wants to come out. But it's kind of everyone around him in the game that's holding him back, and we show as many kind of examples of why that happens, basically. But we've created an inspiring character as well that wants to come out, and it's to show everyone what someone would go through. Yeah. Because we don't know who the openly gay players are playing now. We wouldn't know. Robbie can tell us, Thomas can tell us, but we don't know who they are currently, so people wouldn't really sympathise with them because statistics are great for finding out what the problem is. But
I think if a current top player were to come out, I think it certainly would help. It would change the whole climate, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And they'd be an inspiring role model for so many kids and so many people. And if you consider the global audience of the Premier League, many countries in the Middle East and China and that, it would have a huge ripple down effect across the world, I think, because of football's popularity.
What do we think? I mean, what do we think the fear is? I mean,
I think there's several things. Social media is a big problem, but it's a vessel for all kinds of abuse. But I think the fans on match day is a problem. We don't know what a player would go through until it happens. The only examples is Justin fashioning way back in the 90s, and I don't think the clubs want it to happen, if I'm honest. If you consider how results-based football is these days. Any kind of unwanted media attention that distracts from the next game is unwanted, you know. And
if your £20 million player isn't playing as well because he's having to deal with all that having come out,
of course,
then you worry about your investment. The
Yeah.
interesting thing as well, Reece, is that it seems to be the last taboo for the tabloids, for the newspapers. 'Cause I
Yeah.
can't believe that there aren't people out there who work on newspapers that don't know of gay footballs, have a pretty good idea that there are players playing in the Premier League who are gay. But, I mean, the outing thing, people, is terrible anyway, but there's been no attempt to do that, has there? Which is quite interesting.
No, and I think perhaps the game itself is trying to protect these players. You know, I don't know whether these players want to come out or not. You know, you hear rumours and so, but, you know, the fact of the matter is that in the top 6 leagues, there's no openly gay male professionals, and we've made WONDERKID to try and show people why, and hopefully, you know, create a likeable character that a mass audience would like and think about this a bit differently, you know.
Where can people see this film?
So it's launching at Raindance on Monday night at View Piccadilly. You can get tickets at raindance.org, and we'll be doing a number of screenings following that, which you can sign up to be notified at wonderkidfilm.co.uk.
Fantastic. Look, good to talk to you, Reece, and we wish you well with the film.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks very much
Cheers.
for coming in. That's Reece Chapman there. It's Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Got the Falls panel.